Maddie Ray Davies.
Who's that? I don't know who that
From
is.
the fucking Kinks.
Oh, I'm not a Kinks fan.
Really? I don't know if we can continue making podcasts together. They're like one of my absolute favorite bands.
I just don't like music. It's loud and obnoxious.
Fair.
It's not silent.
I used to go to the psychiatrist who had a shared practice with his wife.
Oh, hold up. We are actually streaming right now.
That's fine. This is just
Okay.
a story about silly names.
Okay.
So her real name was Jackie Chen. Yeah. And I didn't know that until after I stopped going to this place. And I was like,
I could have made so many jokes in your...
I was like the only person that ever entered that office that was not like Mandarin speaking.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really hard to find psychiatric help.
End of sentence.
That takes yes, that takes insurance in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And a sentence.
Mm-hmm. That's how I end all of my sentences when I speak.
Period. Sentence end.
What are we doing? Should we clap it in, start talking about this awesome show?
Fuck yeah, we should.
Hold on.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Why?
Because I'm bad at this. Okay, now.
What's up, everybody? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We are here today to talk about Friday the 13th, the series, season 1, episode 2, The Poison Pen. This is your one and only warning. The show came out decades ago. We're about to spoil it. You can still watch it. Pause this, watch that, come back. You're back. Welcome back.
Yeah, go. YouTube has it, the whole series. You'll find it eventually.
Hey, man, let's try to fly under the radar so it stays up.
Mateo's fine. He doesn't need.
Oh my God. Why are you trying to bring the heat down on Mateo?
He's got everything. He's probably got licensing. He's fine.
I don't know about that. Why would you ever think that?
Because no one's going to hear this part. It doesn't matter.
We're definitely keeping this.
Josh, what's new?
Just bopping around, being my regular loosey-goosey self.
Yeah.
How about you? What's new with you?
You know it all. That's it. You know.
Oh, yeah. Completely lacking in details.
That's right. That's what I do. That, and I got a big gulp full of not great iced coffee from 7-Eleven. Let's hear it for 7-Eleven, our sponsor for today. According to me.
We tried to get 8-Eleven.
They were out.
They had
9-11 was not hearing it.
Always here for the 9/11 jokes. And of course, as always, Tress's favorite band, 311.
Because they're from Omaha. That's right.
Are they?
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about them.
That's all.
They sound like the Chili Peppers, right?
I think they wanted to, yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I love them. Josh, this show is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page because it gets goofy as hell. And I don't know how down you are with goofy as hell.
Oh my God, what are you talking about? I was born goofy as hell. I've lived a goofy as hell life. Yeah. I will die goofy as hell.
Yes, I love it. We got an episode, yes.
This episode has a lot of silly stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. It sure does. I was not going to take notes. I was just going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to watch it, absorb it, enjoy it. And then about 2 minutes in, it's like, I need to take some fucking goddamn notes.
Oh, well, shit. You're a professional. I just absorbed it. I
Oh,
let it
you
wash
miss.
over me.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to carry this episode.
Yeah, as always. See what you can do. Try to make it make sense.
All right. We start off with a monastery. That's what it is, right? When it's monks.
Yeah, there's a brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
They have basically a fucking fortified citadel in the city, the unnamed city.
I know this is confusing. They
And
didn't
no,
have.
I don't know if at any point in this show's run they name the city that they're in.
Oh yeah, I don't know either.
But...
Canada General. They had this like castle, this estate, but not enough guest rooms for two people.
It's an estate that was clearly built in the 60s, and
to make it look like it was made in the 1600s. Yeah,
right, is crawling with skeletons and guillotines
and tarantulas.
Why? But what are they doing? For some reason there's farm work happening occasionally. Everyone's very busy. They live an incredibly ascetic life, and yet they have this fucking castle and is done up like Dracula's favorite.
Yes, Vincent Price is spraying all over this place. He loves it.
Vincent Price is spraying all over this place.
Like a dog or something worse. There's a winery, or I guess at least a vineyard. There's at least 80 acres that they have to mow with a hand push mower. What's going on here, you guys?
Right. And
get your shit together.
One of the brothers is actually
a
fucking killer hiding out.
What? So just a normal monk then.
But also he's been living under an assumed name, and he's got a cursed quill that he can write other people's demise with.
Which Jack automatically is like, oh, a quill. That must be our cursed item because I see it in a newspaper.
Yeah, they're fucking... Okay, so we get introduced first, we have a scene at the brothers' castle. That's the name.
That's a great pizzeria, by the way.
I was just gonna yeah, so we have a scene at the brothers' castle where they're discussing the possibility of making a real estate deal that would get them lots and lots of money, or not, depending on whether or not they want to go through with it. Some are for it, some are against it. One guy who's against it, he goes out to feed the pigeons.
He's
and then
fine.
He floats up. up, so far up.
Uh-huh.
And then it's a long way down.
Yeah. It's a long way down onto some wrought iron furniture.
Yeah, so that's a death that the Quillmaster writes, and then it just happens.
Josh, are you familiar with Death Note?
No, what's Death Note?
It's an anime. I don't know how old, but it's basically this. It's basically exactly this.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, except it's not a pen, it's a notebook. And he just has to write a name. He doesn't have to even write a flowery bullshit. The visitors, new to their... No, it's just name. So I'm called
bullshit. And then
bullshit,
the person cannot avoid death?
No, they will die immediately. Well, within 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't remember the details, Josh. It's the only anime I've ever watched ever.
So is it about trying to stop the person with the notebook?
Well, first it's trying to figure out why all these people are dying, why these specific people are dying that are close to some other specific people. And then they find out, I think, how, and then they have to figure out who's using it. I don't know. It's been a while. It's really good, though. It's probably the only anime I would ever watch because I'm not interested. But who knows? Because it's the only one I've ever watched, so I don't know what I'm missing.
Well, okay. So in this show,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
the the monk with the quill gets like tabloid famous because he keeps predicting people's deaths. Like it makes the fucking news.
Yeah.
Which makes me think he's doing a terrible job of flying under the radar.
Right, but he wants to sell his memoir for $10 million. Isn't that what he said?
Is that what he said?
That's like when he was fighting with the guy who was actually writing it. He was like, "Don't you want to get rich?" And he's like, "Dude, I don't want to fucking murder people anymore." And he's like, "You're fucking stupid. I'm 80s guy." And he was like, "We're going to make this book and sell it and make $10 million," which I think that's a pretty high guess for a book that you haven't even written yet or sold to anybody, bro. But maybe he was talking about the castle. I don't know. But he did talk about selling a book for sure.
I mean, they were talking about selling the castle for millions.
Yeah. But he also was talking about selling a book.
Okay, so our team, led by Jack Marshak, aka Obi-Wan, he's like, yeah, he's like, oh fuck, that's gotta be a cursed quill that came from our store.
And we get a whole bullshit lesson about Nostradamus, which I enjoyed.
Oh,
I'm sorry, are you a Nostradamus truther?
what do you mean? What is a Nostradamus truther?
I don't know. I just made that up in my head.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the show Rain, which you may not have seen.
I have not.
It's like, it's got Nostradamus and like the French court and Mary Queen of Scots, but like the French court is like 6 people that includes like one merchant guy, and they just get into like dumb hijinks.
Is this a newer show?
It's like from maybe like 10 years ago, and it has some serious like CW production values.
Oh, I'm all over that.
It's so bad it comes back around to being good and then bad again.
Why are we not watching this show?
Yeah, I think maybe we should.
Yeah. It sounds great.
So like the guy who plays Nostradamus as a character choice, he does a voice like this. And it's clear that like between season 1 and season 2 or whatever, like nobody knew that the show was going to get picked back up again. So like all these guys that had beards were like clean shaven out of the blue.
And nobody owned spirit gum, so they were stuck.
Why didn't they just put a fucking fake beard on? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's the Nostradamus
fantastic.
truther. That's the kind of Nostradamus truther I am.
Cool. Continue on Jack's journey. I interrupted you.
Oh, he's like, hey, I'll forge you guys a letter. You can go undercover. This is a thing they suddenly do now. We just decided they're going to go undercover as monks. So Mickey has to pretend to be a man. They bind her breasts.
And that's like, it.
Yeah, and not very well, by the way.
No, not at all.
Not tight. And she's like, oh my God, I feel like disfigured. Don't look at me. I'm disgusting.
She could put on a tank top. It would have made the same effect.
She's wearing a tank top under the ace bandage that they wrap around her for like 2 seconds.
But also,
I guess maybe she's not wearing makeup. I don't know. And she has her hair pulled back tight.
I mean, at that point, just get a wig.
Right?
There's so many options to make her that much more masculine. But instead, they're like, make her have no boobs. It's fine.
Right. They didn't like talk about their backstory at all until like they're on the spot. And they're like, brother Simon took a vow of silence.
Good one. You know what? That's quick thinking, bro. Also, how gross was he to Mickey? What's his name? That's your cousin still. Stop being gross.
Yeah, okay, so they occasionally seem to have like, are are they supposed to be flirty?
You know what? Making them related was the worst choice for this show because they are never, ever not going to be flirty with each other. And it is gross.
But also not. Okay, so it's not 0% flirty, but it's also not terribly flirty, but anything more than 0 is like disgusting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. He's like wrapping her up, binding her, and like making weird comments, and then weird comments when they get their communal room. Like,
Oh yeah, so they share a room. So that's fine. There's also like a communal bathroom shower area. And apparently we never see the cafeteria, but like the cafeteria just like sends people out with trays full of food like you would have at a college dining hall. So that's part of it. Also, when they first enter, there's a guy with no shirt on whipping his own back. That's just like par for the course.
Right. It's a 80s, 90s spa music video. What am I thinking of?
What? Spa music video?
Some Enya, but not Enya. What was that one song from that one group that was, never mind, I'm not going to think of it. Some easy listening CD that was for sale all over MTV and VH1 for the longest time. Sadness? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
It was all the rage when the Monks CD was really big.
The Gregorian chant.
Yeah, that's the one. But that's not it.
So Enya. Like maybe you mean Enya?
No, they sampled the Gregorian monks in their like slow jam dance hit.
Oh.
It's fantastic.
Okay. I know what you're talking about, but I also don't know what it is. So
yeah,
I'm not
same.
much use here.
So blah blah blah. They gotta get this fucking quill.
Right. They go skulking around.
They're like this, I guess, in the basement. I don't know. It's dark. There's candelabras and cobwebs and rats and hay. Why is there always hay in castles everywhere? What's that about?
I mean, it's medieval times, so.
But it's not, though.
Right. In castles, it's like you probably have medieval times being portrayed. Why would you have hay in this urban castle, farm, citadel, whatever the fuck it is?
They could just rent that place out to medieval times and then they wouldn't need to sell it.
Fucking, they could have one party a month.
Oh my God, just like the Loft would do every month. Pay the rent with the red cups. You rent are set. Party.
Honestly, they don't even have to stay up late. They could serve brunch instead.
Seriously, on that 80-acre land? Come on.
They got actually, that's a little bit more to put on. Like you've got to like cater it and shit.
They could hire somebody,
right? Just have the monk band play Gregorian chants, the whipping guy. Anybody that tries to sneak in, straight to the guillotine.
Oh, yeah. I love that there's a guillotine in the basement so much. Okay. Not dismantled either.
No,
with like
a functional working guillotine.
With like hemp rope or something. Don't get a candle near it.
There's so many facts about this premise that are so ridiculous and like, oh, let's just, yeah. Like, okay, so there's a guy hiding out with the monks. He keeps flagrantly causing people's deaths, and there's a written record of it that exists from before they die, and he's famous for it.
Yeah.
How come
No one's checking him out.
Yeah, like why
That's a
are
great
the only people
question.
on this like Mickey and Ryan?
That's a great question. Oh, also that shot of them when they're first walking in and they walk past the monk cleaning blood off the wrought iron bench. Delicious. So good.
Uh, yeah.
No trouble here. Just a bunch of guys that have a lot of accidents. Lots of accidents.
So
Like
then
a bed.
like halfway through the episode, they're like, oh, we should have fucking Obi-Wan show up also.
Why was he not there in the first place so Mickey didn't have to dress in drag?
Great question. I
Thank
have
you.
no idea. And then he got to do an Irish accent.
Yeah. He did it just for that.
Yeah.
He could have let those guys like flounder forever, but he wanted to do that accent.
So yeah, a lot of people dying at this old man sausage party.
That's the name of the episode. So this one guy, they're doing yard work with this push thing. And Mickey's yelling, and they're supposed to be taking on vow of silence.
Right, like every time, like people are literally like 4 feet away from them, and she's like, "Eek, a spider! Oh my god, you guys! Ah!
I hate it here, boys and wieners." And then this one guy comes around and he's like, "Oh, there's been another prediction. The Abbott's gonna die." And Ryan's like, "There's no more Abbott. You don't have to worry about it." And he's like, "Oh, good point."
Oh, thank God, that was a fucking close one.
You didn't think of that before you started okay. Later that night, old dude looking like Ebenezer Scrooge gets a note, says, "Congratulations, you're the new Abbott. Didn't think anything of it. Went to bed and his goddamn bed ate him." What the fuck?
Yeah, he was unable to get himself out of a very slowly descending whatever that thing that like hovers over
Canopy.
Yeah, I don't know how a canopy. So it's like a structural canopy, not just like a piece of cloth.
Right. It was a frame that I mean, I think it was just a piece of cloth that he could not breathe through.
Yeah, it lowers very slowly. It eats him.
He tries tried to give birth to himself through that canopy. He poked a hole through it. No. And then Ryan and Mickey come running in and they just stand next to his bed. He could have been sleeping for all they know. And they just stand there. And the next scene is, what's his name? Like, "Hey, thank you for doing everything you could for him." And they're like, "Hey, we did what we could." You didn't do shit. You just stood there. You didn't even take his pulse. What are you talking about? Guys.
So the Quill Master comes to understand that Ryan and Mickey are not really the monks they claim to be from York.
But first, before he finds that out, he's going to write them a death note. And the ASMR made me want to drill holes in my head holes. I hated the ASMR of him narrating what he was writing. Hated it. But he noticed that Mickey was terrified of spiders, so he was going to have them die by tarantula. But it didn't kill him because
not even a poisonous tarantula.
They're not poisonous.
Venomous. Not even a venomous tarantula.
Not venomous. Maybe. I don't think they're venomous.
According to Jack.
That's some 80s bullshit like quicksand.
So they're fine. But back in York, the monks whose names they fucking borrowed, those people died in a fucking tarantula attack. It's never addressed as like a problem or something that they caused.
It's weird, right? Hey, because he doesn't want anyone to know. But the one creepy monk who's been following him around trying to figure out what their deal is has a total Porky scene where he's watching Mickey take a shower.
Mhm.
Man, more Porky scenes. A movie I've never seen, and I just want more scenes of him in this show.
How how have you gotten this far in life without watching the amazing cinematic experience that is Porky's?
Josh, have I? Have I gotten this far? It's not been a great life.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, casual observation seems to yeah.
My own detriment.
So he knows that Mickey's a girl.
He saw titties for the first time.
He's like, "Tay."
So we get lots of Jack searching what's his name's office for this quill. He finds, goddamn, out of this huge book rack shelf, one book just stands out. So he grabs it, and you know what's in that book as well as everything else that's in that book? I'll tell you. The receipt for that goddamn quill. Because what?
Yeah, I sign all of my antique receipts. Don't you?
Uh-huh. And then I keep those receipts forever
For taxes.
in a very safe place. So I'll never not know where it is. But he got caught by Dum Dum. What's his name?
Jack.
No, Jack got caught. He's not the Dum Dum, but
Oh,
I don't know. So the guy, the quill master, catches him, pulls
wow.
the world's tiniest gun on him, and he ties him up to the guillotine. Shut up. And he's like, hey, you sit tight. I'll be back in about an hour or so. And he puts a candle in the door. Why is this a fully functioning guillotine in the middle of this place? This is 19 something, 80 something. Why? Nobody would get
It's possible that all orders of monks have a working guillotine on site.
Did you just say that they execute their own randomly? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it's possible that
Mm-hmm.
all orders of monks
Mm-hmm.
have a working guillotine on site. I'm not saying that anyone executes anyone. I'm just
Sounds
saying
like you're
maybe it's just
alluding to
like,
it.
it's the normal part of what they have in the house. Like they all have a
Mm-hmm.
communal bathroom that everybody
Mhm.
shits in simultaneously.
Yeah, just like ancient Rome. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And
Vomitorium.
yep, a vomitorium, very exciting.
Mhm, mhm.
The monks need the vomitorium because they all go to the cafeteria.
They all have one shower stall that has yellow tiles and a big hole in it.
It's fucking, come on, what the fuck?
That shower was in some cast member's bathroom. Like that had nothing to do with that fucking goddamn castle, you guys.
Yeah,
I know a hole
it
when
was
I see one.
also, it was just like jarringly brightly lit inside that bathroom, whereas
And nothing
everything
to
else
that.
was super moody inside the castle.
Yeah. Except for that one office that was super bright, like fluorescent light bright. So yeah, Jack's gonna die, right?
Yeah, there's a guillotine and a fucking candle so that it's like a fucking Blofeld trap for Bond.
Uh-huh.
In 77 hours, this laser will finally make its way to your little toe.
No. So Mickey's like, yeah, I'm gonna go switch out that pen. I'm gonna go find it. Okay. I guess I'll go find Jack then when you leave or something. She's able to find it so easily, and the
Uh-huh.
rest of
Just
her
done.
friends,
Just
yeah. Jack's
Mission
been looking for
accomplished.
like a week. Like, come on. You didn't look in the chair?
And swapped it out for a fake one.
Uh-huh.
Also, I didn't know that you had like a perfect replica on hand.
That's why Jack was there. He made one and brought
Oh,
it.
oh.
Did you miss the last scene? What? So, whatever. She switches it out. They find Jack, and then she gets down there and is like, here's exactly what I just did. Let's go. But Lacroix is in the shadows, and he's like, not so fast. I heard everything you said, so now you give me the real quill. Stuff happens, and I almost forgot about the blade of the guillotine.
Yeah. It flies out, floats around, slices candles. It slices, it dices, it jack chops.
It hunts him down through corners around the place they are that I
It's
don't
a
know.
heat-seeking guillotine.
Wow, that was just exactly what I wanted from that.
Right? Like,
Mhm.
what? Like, no, you're not like just limited to having to put your head in the guillotine stocks. No, that doesn't even matter.
No.
You can leave, you can go around the block, smoke a cigarette. That thing is going to chop off your cigarette and then chop off your head.
I wish that thing just got him in the back, though. Because Mickey is like, oh, behind you, which is classic. And he's like, I'm not going to go for that one, little lady. In the back. Why didn't it cut off his head? It's a guillotine blade. That's what it knows. It should go home and do the thing it knows.
What, are you too good for your home?
Exactly.
Yeah, he unfortunately started writing flowery language about death, but it was on the receipt that already had his own signature on it.
You stupid dum-dum. You just wrote your own death sentence.
So, yeah, that's like the third death that our team is now kind of really genuinely responsible for in this episode. There's the two monks back in York and him causing his own death.
I didn't even think about that. See, when they got there, I didn't think those were real names. I thought that
No,
was
me neither. Me neither.
Here's this guy and here's this guy. You're taking real people's names. You know what this quill does, right?
How did they look that information up?
The internet.
There was no internet.
Like Jack would have had to call those guys and be like, hey, do you have any young people?
1987. It would have been a matter of like, is there like something in the public library here for some reason, like a who's who of monks around the world?
Yeah, that thing. The pre-Facebook, pre-internet monk
it's like
directory.
a social register, but for monks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, young ones.
Young monks.
Love that show. The scene ends with Ryan being like, he should have used pencils. Why? Why? That wouldn't have. Why? Why, Ryan? Why? Wrap up. They're back at the shop. And, chatting about their crazy adventures. And Mickey's like, hey, shouldn't you put that quill in the vault? And he's like, this is the one I made. This is my replica. Hey, you know what? Put it in there anyway.
Yeah, are you sure?
I don't.
How do you know?
How do you trust anything at this point? Just put it in the fucking goddamn. And that's our show, everybody.
Guys. Yeah, this was a fucking doozy. Our gang, by the way, there's no mention of Mickey's fiance at all in this episode.
I didn't know if I missed what happened last time or
they just operate the store and hang out. And that's their life now. They operate the store, they hang out, and then when necessary, they go undercover.
Mm-hmm. So,
Nobody has a life that they have to return to.
no, why would they? This is fun.
There's no, yeah. I mean,
Would you? No. Go back to this shithole? I can go find cursed objects.
I would love to see the spinoff, but it's just about her fiance living his life.
And
Or
it's
like
a
just
wacky sitcom.
maybe not a spinoff, but like scenes of him like with a big 80s mobile phone, like
Yes.
size of a brick.
It should only be post-credit scenes every
Right.
episode.
Yes, he's got his car phone and he's making deals
Yes.
at the club.
Yes, and he'll occasionally get a message about what Mickey's up to and have no idea what it actually means.
Uh-huh.
She got the quill. What? I don't.
No, don't. If you recall in the first episode, she didn't give him a real explanation. She was like, oh yeah, it's more complicated with the inheritance.
Right. That's why it would be funny. He wouldn't have no idea what that text or, I'm sorry, message meant. What quill? Who?
Text.
Shut up, Paige. How about that?
Yeah, he'd get a page.
I gotta say, I was a little concerned when I saw that it was pretty much all going to take place in a fake monastery. I was like, this is going to be boring. I was proven wrong.
Yeah, everybody was really like everybody's performance was extremely chewing the scenery, and it's wonderful. Like everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Every character actor, every monk, every main character, y'all did a good job.
Right.
Congratulations.
Like, hey, should I do this one like real? No. No.
Why?
No, that wouldn't match the rest of it.
No.
So definitely don't be real.
Don't ever ask me that again. Go back to your trailer.
Okay, but bigger. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we have for this episode. It's been a fucking doozy.
Bye. And